Welcome to Stripped Music Diary. I'm Shannon, and today I'm here at the record store that I work at to talk a little bit about vinyl records and their value. It seems that people sort of memorize artists and they have it in their mind that those are the valuable, sought after artists, and from my experience it seems like it's the most common artists that people think are the most valuable as far as their vinyl releases go. And time after time we hear people say, well, I have the Beatles and I have the Rolling Stones and I have Bob Dylan and things like that, and it's just not accurate, because where there are some rare titles by those artists, they're also the biggest artists in the world, so you have to think about the fact that more of their albums were produced. So I am just breaking it down. This is more for beginners, so if you are kind of educated on vinyl and you kind of know already what's common and what's not common, this might not be for you. This is kind of for people just getting into vinyl, or somebody who happened upon their grandmother's collection, or somebody in the family has passed away and a vinyl collection was left behind. So before lugging it down to your local record store, just a couple things to keep in mind. So time after time we get, like I said, calls regarding really well-known artists. So I'd say the main rule of thumb is to think about the more rare and uncommon something is, the more it's likely to be worth money. But that's kind of walking a fine line, because if it's super obscure, then there's a chance that people just don't care and don't want it anymore. And then also there's genres to factor in as well. So there's not some formula like, oh, this, and this artist are all valuable, sought after artists. That's not true. It's all depending on the genre, the pressing of the vinyl, things like that. But don't let it overwhelm you. If you're not sure, then just bring them to the record store. I got some titles off of our floor to kind of point out why they're not valuable. So the first one is going to be this copy of Frampton Comes Alive, and it's one that we've gotten, we've gotten comments about how, oh, I have Peter Frampton and all this classic rock. Classic rock kind of goes in trends, except for bands like Pink Floyd and a few others. The price on those steadily has been increasing for years based on the quality and the condition of the record. This one, it could be worth a little bit more, however, it's not in a very good condition. There's something on the cover sleeve right there that's called ring wear, and the vinyl itself, I won't take it, well, we could take it out, but you're not going to be able to see, but there are a lot of surface scratches, and you can't feel any of the scratches, which means it will play through, but a vinyl connoisseur or a vinyl enthusiast is not really going to want this copy in their collection. This is more for somebody just starting to build a collection. This is a good record to have in your collection, but it's not really worth a lot of money. Some other ones quickly here. Like I mentioned, the Beatles are the #1 artist that we get people thinking that their stuff is rare, and that can be very, very true. This is a case where it is not true. This copy of The Yellow Submarine is in terrible shape. However, we do have it listed at $4.99. The piece of vinyl itself just has a little bit of surface wear. However, you can see there's a seam split, and again with the ring wear, and there's a lot of water damage, so it's not really worth anything. Another one that's listed at $5, it's actually in pretty decent shape. The sleeve is in decent shape, and the vinyl itself, oh, it's in a sleeve, but the vinyl itself is pretty good, but the issue here is that it's just really, really common. So because we see it so much, it's just the market is oversaturated with something like that. So something that is, like I mentioned before, has been increasing in price since I started collecting vinyl in probably the early 2000s are Pink Floyd records. This is the Wall, if you don't know. I have a copy in the exact same shape as this. We have this graded at a very good, which means that there are probably a lot of surface marks and some scratches, but no deep scratches that you would be able to feel with your fingertips. But it will still play through, but you'll hear a lot of pops and crackles and things like that. And the sleeve there, I'm not going to take it out of the plastic, that's too much work, but the sleeve has a lot of ring wear and it's really dirty and there's a lot of age discoloration. But I got this record probably in about 2002 for $2. And if you can see, we have it listed at $12.99. So that is going rate for this record. It's not like a rare pressing or anything like that, but it's just the most common pressing of the Wall, and it has just gone up that much because it's fewer and fewer copies are in this sort of shape. Most of them are coming in that we see are just like trashed, or seeing it less and less, things like that. For your records, if for example you brought this in, you can look for a couple dollars for something like that. The titles I mentioned before that were like $1.99, $4.99, most record stores are gonna pay like 50 cents or $1 on titles like that. It's gonna be very rare that in a collection that was given to you or left to you that there would be something that's like, this golden treasure. But you never know, so don't think that everything that you find at a yard sale is going to be trash, or everything that grandma passed down to you is not really worth anything, because there are instances, but I just had to mention because there is this misconception. We get it so much that people think that because it's older than 1980, it's worth like thousands. So this one here is AC/DC's Back in Black, which has gotten, I think, a few reissues over the years, and this one here is not in very good shape. You can see the sleeve is pretty messed up. There's a lot of corner damage and chipping along the edges. So we have this one listed at $5. This looks like this is a first pressing, so it's cool for collectors if you just aren't really about a repress. A side note about represses, they're cool and all, but they're going to have a much cleaner sound. This one I see has a few little surface scratches, so that's what makes the little crackles and pops. So you want that sound when listening to vinyl, then actually kind of would want something like this. So it's $4.99, and Back in Black, super common. If this never had gotten a reissue, this would be worth a lot more. That being said, there is this record here, this AC/DC record. It's Flick of the Switch, and it's a VG++. It's not mint, but it's a little bit yellowed on the outside there, and that means it may have one little surface scratch or two, but it's in a really good shape. It does have, right there, you could see there's a cut. It means it was probably a promotional copy sent to a radio station or given to a record store or something like that. So this is an original pressing as well, 1983, and these are worth a little bit more because you don't see it quite as much as Back in Black. So $9.99 on that one is what we had that for. Something else I wanted to mention about the Beatles: anything sealed, first pressing, obviously gonna be worth way more. I guess that doesn't really go for just the Beatles, but anything sealed, the price goes up exponentially. So if you find any sealed records, definitely check into them as far as, you know, what they're worth. We use Discogs a lot here, so you can use that as a good reference point. Check the condition to similar items what you have. So another common title and another common artist, Elvis. There are quite a few rare Elvis records, super rare. I'm kind of going off what people are more likely to have. Like I said before, there are a lot of records that are worth a lot of money, and some, you know, sealed ones and some test presses, things like that are just worth a shitload of money. So I'm not really touching on those because we have some really rare stuff in the store that I could show you, but it's more likely that people have this sort of in this sort of realm. So this one here goes for $20, and so it would probably fetch about $5 to $10 as far as what someone would pay on it. You're selling a store your stuff. And this is VG++, again, just probably has a little bit of a surface wear copy of Elvis's Girls, 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 and it's in really nice shape. Again, I don't have this exact record, but I have one similar that I bought back in 2000, and it now goes for about $20. So what I recommend, if you do want to keep your records, just keep them as nice as you can, because they will go up in price. Keep them in good shape. Most of the time they will, you know, they will increase in value. So there's some stuff over the years that just hasn't retained any value at all. A lot of Phil Collins, some Blondie stuff, Bananarama. Like I said, if it's a kind of beat up copy, especially if the sleeve is water damaged, then we still put out copies of Fleetwood Mac's Rumors for $1.99. But if it's in really nice shape, we'll put it out for, you know, $10, $12, $14. Where I bought the same record in a mint condition years ago for $2, $3. So it all really just depends. Don't think that because it's a certain artist that it's worth money, but just do your research. And if you have any questions at all, you can put them in the comments below. Like I said, this is kind of an introductory crash course on vinyl for people who just happened upon a collection and they don't know anything about vinyl or what it's worth, or anyone just getting into it as well. So one other little footnote about starting a collection: don't feel overwhelmed like you have to buy these $14 copies of Fleetwood Mac's Rumors. Like I mentioned, we have $1.99 copies in all the time, and the vinyl itself is in really nice shape. The rule I always go off of is if you can feel the scratch with the tip of your finger, it may skip. If you can't, then it'll probably crackle or a pop, so be safe. And I highly recommend, when just starting out, or if there's a teenager that is just getting into vinyl, just buying those $1.99 copies. Just take them out and look at them. If your needle is super sensitive or there's no counterweight, then it may skip on those like really light surface scratches that you can't feel. So you do need some weight to the needle. Some common record players that don't have the counterweight are those little portable ones like the Crosley, or just any of the all-in-ones that you can get at like Target or something like that. So keep in mind that things that I'm saying that might not skip, they may skip on turntables like that. So basically there's not one solid answer for, you know, which artist sells better, which artists are worth more money, which turntable is the best. It all just really depends. So I hope that helped, and if like I said, if you have any questions, you can leave it in the comments below, or you can message me on Instagram. I'll leave the Instagram name below. And if you like the video, hit the like. If you want to see more videos and be notified when I post again, then you can hit the red subscribe button below. It really helps a lot. As always, thanks for watching, and until next week, bye-bye.